I immediately run towards the stand.
Okay. And what are you gonna do whenever you get to the stand?
I'm gonna try and get on top.
Okay. If you try to get on top, all the other people in the mob are gonna follow you because they see that somebody broke through. And as soon as that happens, you see the guy, the demon-looking guy. Um, he actually aims his blade towards you, and a shockwave emanates from it, and pretty much seems to go through your torso, hits the ground with everyone else trying to jump up the platform, and kind of makes a earthquake kind of thing, making everyone fall down. Um, the reason why it works is because your character is not technically a level 2, so it cannot really dodge that. Plus, you're in the middle of the air, and you're not fully dead, but you do seem to pass out. As you witness that, you see that the other person, the one with the blonde hair, pretty much stabs the angelic person right next to her, right before you pass out.
So, what was her reaction to just me trying to save her?
Your reaction,
Her.
um, oh, hers?
Yeah.
Um, she seems to have no reaction because she kept her eyes closed the entire time because of the loud screaming. She doesn't really notice what's going on around her. She's trying to block everything out. But since that all happened, something else goes on. As you fade off into subconsciousness, you're sent to another place. And this is a place that you can remember from the last session, but a few things are different. I'm gonna
Ooh.
share it now. Sharing it now. Let me
What?
know whenever it's up.
Hold on. What needs to happen is I need to close out of the other one. No, it's already gone. Good. Still loading.
Okay. It might load for a second.
Yeah. Still loading.
Loading. And this time I have the swords and stuff actually embedded with the map, so it's not tokens anymore, so you can't turn them. No more turning.
Alrighty.
So tell me whenever you see it.
I see it.
Okay. Then let this little story thing continue. You see that the sword on the very top, it's glowing and it has a weird static arc pretty much coursing through it. Um, you also see that your friend is okay. Are you still there? Is it still loaded in?
Yep.
Okay. Starting back from the beginning, hopefully. You're able to see the entire vicinity from the Dreamlink area, but you don't see it from the bottom where the other person is. You're seeing it from on top, and the sword in the top part of it, the big one, the big sword,
Yeah.
it is glowing as well as pulsating electricity. For some odd reason, it is not dead, it is still active. The other swords around kind of have a dim, dark glow, as if they are afraid of it. What you also see is a person pretty much walked right underneath the sword. The little bitty cat thing
Yeah.
seems to be arguing with the guy about the sword, and it looks kind of frightened, agitated, and scared at the same time. You're too far away to find out exactly what they're talking about, but the person that was on top of the stage seems to be walking away from them for some odd reason. And the guy walks a bit closer to the sword and touches it, but it seems to have zapped him. It seems to have not reacted to him at all. And with that, everything goes dark for you. You are pretty much standing in that entire field, and you are awake. You can see what's around, and it looks like everything is branching out from the center tree that's pretty much on the bottom of the map. You see flowers pretty much blooming in random areas. It seems like a land, but at the same time, it's something that you can actually feel. It is your reality right now.
I
What would you
slowly
like
walk
to do?
towards the tree, the big one. So I go around this pretty pink one, looking around as well.
As you go around the pink one, you can see that the flowers around there are actually talking. They're talking to each other, but you don't really understand what they're saying.
I just begin walking.
As you walk past the tree, you see a guy that's pretty much standing underneath the tree, and he's staring up at it.
I walk up beside him.
As you walk up beside him, he doesn't really move to pay you any attention, but he does speak up. He does say something. And what he says is kind of confusing to you. Well, seems like you finally arrived. Well, even though you're here, you're not supposed to be here. That is why I brought you to this area. This is the beginning of all things.
I look at him very confused.
As you look at him confused, you realize that you have your tongue. It's not cut out. You're able to speak if you wanted to.
How did I get here?
Well, you see, there's only two ways to get here. One is death. Two, to have the power of the soul essence already unlocked and controlled.
Soul essence?
The soul essence is what gives all of us our abilities, our powers, our life. It is something that you might come to understand later on. It's not your time, it's not exactly time for your death yet.
So Why was I brought here?
You were brought here because another entity was up to its time on death and needed to be at the Dreamlink. You were just along for the ride.
I look up at the tree.
As you look up at the tree, you can see that the very top part of it, it looks like it's dead, it's decaying.
What's wrong with the tree?
The tree, it is linked to Valanis. And as you can see, without Valanis around, the tree is slowly dying. But you probably don't know who Valanis is.
I just kind of say nothing. And I just look down.
As you
So
look down, you can see that the
how do I get back?
oh, don't worry, you'll be back in time. I actually pulled you here for a second reason besides being along for the ride. I wanted you to take a look at the environment because soon you will probably come here anyway.
If I'm dying and I come here, at least it's gonna be peaceful and pretty.
Yes, but unfortunately, by the time you get to this stage in your development, it will look far worse.
I just have a worried expression on my face.
Okay, I'm trying to get my thing in there. Okay. Repeat that.
I said I have a worried expression on my face.
It won't be for some time, so you don't have to fret on it too much at this stage. Um, just know that being yourself is just a part of this roller coaster ride that we call existence.
Okay.
So, what actually happened before you decided to come here to? Well, not already decided. Was more like forced to come to the Dreamlink. It's not exactly your time. So, what
I
happened?
I wanted to help someone.
Helping people always get people into the most dangerous situations, don't they?
Apparently so. I just had to do something. Or at least try. Maybe I'm just
Unfor-
too good of a hearted person.
That may be so, but if you act on your intentions without thinking about the consequences, it can change the reality of existence, which is probably why you're here. But only a sane person would think that way. Those who do not know what lies behind the shrouded mind. And it seems like hmm, back where you left, there's been a lot of killings.
And was that because of me?
Oh, not because of you, not at all. And whenever I say a lot of killings, I'm not talking about the humans. You'll see once you actually watch. Well, you won't be able to watch it, will you? You'll actually see the aftermath. It's about time for you to go.
So how do
The
I
Dreamlink.
get back?
Oh, don't worry. You're already there. And as he says that, you pretty much forget the last 5 seconds of the conversation. And the 5 seconds were pretty much about the death of the humans, but you do remember him saying that there was dead bodies where you were at.
Okay.
And now we're going back to the original map. Okay. Now here's where it gets a little interesting. Pretty much what you see is yourself covered in blood, but it's not your own blood. All of the other people around you, except for the two people, the demon and the other one with the pink hair, they seem to have not. They seem to not be there anymore. Either they fled or they actually finished what they needed to do and they already left. What you see is all the guards that used to be in that entire facility have all died.
I just hold my head like I have a headache.
You're surrounded by dead bodies. The only ones that are not dead are the actual people that's inside of the buildings. The one building that you put on fire is still on fire. The humans that were crowding the entire circle also dead. Their bodies are pretty much scattered along the walls. They were not entirely human, unlike the others, which is why they were able to have a say so in the execution of the angel. The angel, however, or the person that they perceived as an angel, is not there anymore. Even though that you saw that she was pretty much cut open from the pink haired person. Instead, she's actually above everyone else flying. And you see a weird, not really glow, but it's more like a presence in her hand. It is an odd book. And with it, you're able to hear an odd humming sound that almost sounds like a song. Would you like to do a perception check to figure out what that song is?
Yes, I will do so. Perception.
Okay, you're able to listen to the song, and it's a mixture between Elven and angelic, but more so on the Elven heritage. It almost sounds familiar, as if it was sung to you as a child. And with it, you can see that all the guards and all the people that's on the ground, the blood is slowly pouring back into their bodies. It's almost as if not exactly healing them, but reversing the time around them. What is your response to it?
I look very surprised, but I proceed to slowly stand up.
As you
I
stand up, as you stand up, you remember that you had a sword, like a pressure sword, cut through you, and there should have been a big gaping hole, but there's none anymore.
I am definitely like checking myself.
As you check yourself, you don't really see anything different out of the ordinary. You don't really feel anything out of the ordinary, but something is off. Something is different. You can't put your finger exactly on it. The only thing that you can actually see that is a little bit of a difference is the few humans that actually survived, especially the one that is at the corner. He looks terrified. He looks as if as if he had a reason to live before that made him want to survive, now vanish. It looks like he does not want to live at all after what he has witnessed.
I look very confused.
You might be confused. As everyone gets healed or pretty much their wounds, close up and, revert back to their normal state, you see that their reaction seems different as well. They're not looking up at the angel in fear and hatred like they did moments ago. Instead, they all crowd away from you.
I look uh I look around at their faces.
Their faces are filled with disgust and fear at the same time. They are not bashing you like they did the angel moments ago, but at the same time, it's almost with the same energy.
Is there like a way behind me that I can just run?
Yep, the way that you came.
I immediately run.
As you run, no one gives chase, not even the guards. The guards move out of your way, as if they are afraid as well.
God damn it, I can't move my character.
Would you like to make a perception check to find out why they're afraid of you?
I am going to do so. And that is a flat out no.
Uh, you do not know why. All you know is you gotta get the fuck out of Dodge before they change their mind.
Yep.
And with that, we leave a few mysteries, and that is the end of this small chapter story.
I guess this is where at some point in time when I run into sure.
Pretty much. Pretty much the reason why Surf is after you is because after this whole incident, somebody put a bounty on your head, and he was pretty much trying to look for you, trying to, put you in custody.